Sophia had always thought that moving to the countryside would be a dream come true. With its rolling hills and serene landscapes, it was the perfect escape from the suffocating noise of the city. But when she stepped into the small, creaky house her family had purchased, a sense of unease crept over her. Something about the darkness of the corners and the age-old wooden floors made her skin crawl. On the first night, the wind howled ferociously, rattling the thin window panes. Sophia, lying awake in bed, couldn't shake the feeling that someone or something was watching her. She dismissed it as nerves, convincing herself that the new environment was playing tricks on her mind. The next day, exploring the house, she discovered an old, locked door in the basement. The key was nowhere to be found. Her curiosity piqued, she decided to leave it alone for the time being. Days went by, and the house seemed to grow colder, shadows lengthening in ways that defied the sunlight. Sophia began hearing whispers in the dead of night, hushed tones that seemed to seep through the walls. She could never make out the words, but the sinister cadence was enough to keep her awake till dawn. One evening, while reading in the living room, she heard a faint tapping sound coming from the basement. Heart pounding, she followed the noise downstairs. To her shock, the locked door was now ajar. She hadn't noticed a key, hadn't heard anyone unlock it. As she approached, an icy chill enveloped her, and the whispers grew louder, echoing off the stone walls. Taking a deep breath, she pushed the door open and stepped inside. The room was pitch black except for a single, flickering candle in the center. Around it were ancient, dusty tomes and strange symbols etched into the stone floor. Sophia's breath hitched as she realized that this wasn't just an ordinary basement, it was some sort of ritual chamber. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind her. Panic surged through her veins as she rattled the door handle, but it wouldn't budge. The whispers turned into a cacophony, voices overlapping in a dark symphony. From the shadows, an ethereal figure emerged, eyes glowing in unnatural amber. It spoke in a voice that seemed to reverberate through her very soul, "You have awakened us." Sophia stumbled backward, her mind racing. As the figure advanced, she felt an overwhelming sense of dread. It raised a hand, and the shadow seemed to come alive, wrapping around her like tendrils. She screamed, a sound swallowed by the darkness, and then nothing. The next morning, the house stood silent, the only sign of disturbance the open basement door and a single, burned-out candle. Sophia was never seen again, but on quiet nights, locals would swear they could still hear faint whispers carried by the wind, telling tales of an ancient presence that had once again been disturbed.